And it says
Yeah,
atomic bomb tests.
yeah, 1954. Of course, they were doing all these atomic bomb tests. They have built shacks, simulating houses and stuff like that all around it, and they wanted to see the effects of the bomb. And I was at Tyndall Air Force Base in Florida, and there was a message that came in that requested volunteers for atomic tests in Las Vegas. Well, the only thing that we heard was Las Vegas. And there were, I think, 3 of us had volunteered. And so we go out to Las Vegas. And
I mean, for what you've been through in World War II in Korea, you think like, okay, he's entitled to sit back and relax. But hey, let's go and be involved in atomic bomb testing. That respect, man.
Well, it was, we really didn't know what it was. And nobody briefed it. We just said atomic bomb test. So we get there, and the weather is terrible for 10 days. And so it keeps getting delayed. So we're staying at Nellis, and then we sleep all day. And then about 6 o'clock in the evening, we go out into the town, and then we spend all night in the town at the casinos and that sort of stuff. And that was really great sport. And then finally they said the test was going to go. So we get out to Camp Desert Rock, where the test has been, and there's a big tower up there, and I don't know how high it was, but it had a 20 kiloton bomb on top of it. And there are a bunch of trenches about 7 feet deep all around it, probably 1,500 yards around the test. And we're given a blanket and a steel helmet, and we have our own glasses and stuff. And we climb into the trenches, and they say, well, we're going to pull this bomb, and you're going to be down.
Wait a minute. Have they checked the wind? They haven't given you an NBC suit? They haven't given respirators? What?
Nothing. So we're down in there, and then I'm crunched down as far as I can get into the 7 feet of trench, and I've got my blanket over my head, the helmet on, blanket overhead, my sunglasses even down there, my sunglasses on, and the thing goes off, and it's just this really felt like all the marrow in my bones were breaking up and streak. It just was a surrealistic feeling about your whole body. I never had such a feeling in my life before. And then the wind comes whirling by over us, and the bright light, even with all of my under the blanket and with my glasses on and stuff, it's the brightest light. And my eyes closed, I still see red, flashes in my eyes. And then after that, then it's about a half hour or so we're still in the trenches, and then they call us out of the trenches. Then they walk us up to the ground zero to walk around, and there's all guys with Geiger counters and little cards, and they'd check and they'd write it on your card how many Rankins you've absorbed, and then that was it. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything, but anyway, that little card was in my records up until 1972. And then I was checking I was at the record center in San Antonio, Lackland Air Force Base in 72, and I was checking my records, and the card, and for some reason, wasn't there anymore. And so I don't know whatever happened to it. And I never heard anything except about 5 years ago, I got a letter from the Defense Department saying, hey, you were one of the guys in the test. Is everything okay? Of course, I was in my 80s. So
I'm just speechless, man. I really am speechless. Like, we just so much health. in safety nowadays in Austria, and just everything's so careful, and you're not allowed to train your private dog to protect you. But man, I'm just speechless. Like, and they walked you up to ground zero after the test. Like,
Yeah.
they'd actually walk you closer to the place where it exploded.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I can remember saying, guys coming up and it was all trash around. They were working on trash. And,
But weren't they like aware of like cancer dangers back then?
we didn't know any. The general the average person didn't really know what all these effects were of them, and we didn't even know because Hiroshima was only 5 years prior to that, so 5 6 years or something like that. No, we were just.
I mean, surely the American military must have known that people had radiation sickness and
Oh
all
yeah,
sorts of.
yeah, yeah. I really don't know what this, but it didn't bother me. I went through. Okay, I don't think it bothered me.
And any of your co-workers have like sicknesses or cancers after that?
Not, I didn't keep in touch with them. I have no idea. So,
I mean, I only ever felt a bomb once, and that was about 2013, where a car bomb exploded 2 miles away at Athens Bank. Nobody was injured. It was just a whatever. But I never that freaked me out for a little while because just the shockwave was different from fireworks and stuff like that. But this atomic bomb, from how far away was it again?
how far?
Yeah,
Oh, it's about 1,500 yards, something like that.
1,500 yards,
The trench,
man.
the trenches were.
That's
Yeah.
nothing. That's nothing, man.
I know it wasn't a very long walk from getting to the trench to the ground zero. That's for sure.
So you felt the ground shockwave before the air shockwave, I guess.
Yeah, I really, it was so convoluted. You did have an experience that you never had before, and so I can't say I got the light first and the sound next, or what order and all. It all
Yeah.
seemed to come simultaneously, and just sort of you were all the atoms in your body were blowing up.
Yeah. Well, you're allowed to not remember perfectly what an atomic bomb went off 1,500 meters away. There's certain excuses mentally from not remembering perfect detail. Were you scared before the blast?
No,
But you're
I don't know what it is, but I can't think of many times that I was scared. Maybe a little apprehensive, but not, wondering what's going to happen, But
I think this is why they call you guys the greatest generation, because you put up with these extreme things like they're normal.
yeah,
And
yeah.
our
Well,
generation.
sometimes I think that's, it's different circumstances. Just like the guys that have been doing these Afghan fights and some of the things that they're gone through. I mean, there's a equivalency there. I don't, and it's. I guess we were hardened at youth in our youth. 4 or 5. I mean, now, for not now, but I mean for the past 40, 50 years, kids have been brought up with parents everybody looking over their shoulder and keeping them safe and all that sort of stuff. And we were on our own. I was, 6 years old. I'd tell my mom, we're going to ride our bikes. We're going, and she'd say, "Make sure you're home for supper." You know,
Yeah, same
that's it.
here.
You know? And
Yeah.
oh, you know, a kid, somebody's looking over her shoulder all the time. What are you doing? Or how are you feeling? Or right?
Yeah, sometimes I
Just
think about that. I grew up in a council estate, and I was just like, I was out playing at like 5 years old, and other 5-year-old kids, and just going crossing busy roads and stuff like that, selling bottles
yeah,
to shops and stuff. So that was a
yeah,
good time, man. Life was simpler back then.
yeah.